Are you thinking maybe the single life is something you want to give up at some point and have a family, settle down?
I take it as it comes. We'll,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens in the future.
Leonardo DiCaprio has been with the finest and fairest of them, capturing their hearts, but evading capture himself. For decades, he has had the pleasure of having the world's most beautiful women by his side without ever putting a ring on anyone's finger. And now at 50, he's finally revealing the shocking truth behind his lifelong bachelor status. Is Leo's heart truly impossible to capture? Or is there someone who might finally change everything? The Bachelor who captivated Hollywood. Leonardo DiCaprio's journey began on November 11, 1974, in Los Angeles, California. Born to Irmeline, a legal secretary, and George DiCaprio, an artist who created underground comics, Leo entered the world in uniquely creative circumstances. His very name carried artistic weight. His pregnant mother first felt him kick while admiring a Leonardo da Vinci painting in an Italian museum, instantly deciding what to call her son. The marriage between Leo's parents didn't last. When he was just a baby, George DiCaprio fell in love with another woman and moved out. Yet, unlike many Hollywood stars with broken home stories, Leo experienced something different. His parents created an unconventional arrangement, living in side-by-side homes connected by a shared garden. This early exposure to non-traditional family structures may have shaped his later views on relationships and marriage. Los Angeles shaped the future star in complex ways. The DiCaprios weren't wealthy, and Leo's childhood neighborhoods included Los Feliz and other areas marked by urban challenges. He witnessed and poverty just steps from his front door. In interviews, he described his surroundings as hardcore poverty and major prostitution. These gritty experiences gave him street smarts and resilience that would later fuel his performances. Despite his parents' separation, both remained deeply influential figures. Leo described them as very bohemian, free-spirited individuals who encouraged his creative impulses. While most parents might push their children toward traditional education and career paths, George and Irmeline supported their son's artistic ambitions from the beginning. Leo's education took place across several institutions, including the Los Angeles Center for Enriched Studies and John Marshall High School. But traditional schooling never captured his imagination. The classroom couldn't compete with his dreams of performing. Restless energy and creative drive made him a challenging student, but would later make him a compelling screen presence. While today's audiences know DiCaprio as a global superstar, his early romantic history reflects his rise from unknown actor to Hollywood heartthrob. As his career gained momentum in the mid-1990s, so did public interest in his personal life. His first significant relationship to catch media attention was with model Bridget Hall in 1994. A striking Victoria's Secret model, Hall represented the beginning of what would become DiCaprio's recognized pattern, dating beautiful models from the fashion world. The DiCaprio and model connection strengthened in the mid-90s when he was linked to supermodel Naomi Campbell. Their brief relationship didn't evolve into anything long-term, but it established something important. Even early in his career, DiCaprio could attract the most famous women in the world. More significantly, the Campbell connection never fully disappeared. They maintained a friendship spanning decades, occasionally photographed vacationing together long after any romance had ended. This early relationship established another DiCaprio pattern, maintaining cordial connections with former flames. As Romeo plus Juliet raised his profile in 1996, DiCaprio attended the premiere with model Kristen Zhang on his arm. Their relationship provided Leo with stability during his ascent to fame. Zhang, less internationally known than Campbell, but still a successful model, stayed with DiCaprio through a critical career transition. Yet timing proved everything. The relationship ended just before Titanic transformed DiCaprio from a promising young actor to a global phenomenon. The years 1996 to 1997 marked a pivotal moment in both DiCaprio's career and dating life. As his star rose dramatically, rumors swirled about connections with actress Demi Moore, still married to Bruce Willis at the time, and model Helena Christensen. The gossip reflected his new status in Hollywood. Suddenly, everyone wanted to know who captured the heart of the industry's fastest rising star. DiCaprio's rapid ascent created a perfect storm. At precisely the moment he achieved unprecedented fame through Titanic, he found himself single and surrounded by opportunities. With his boyish good looks, growing fortune, and skyrocketing celebrity, the foundation was laid for what would become decades of bachelorhood. The stage was set for a dating pattern that would follow him for the next 25-plus years. High-profile relationships with beautiful women, but always stopping short of marriage. What began in these early years would evolve into one of Hollywood's most discussed romantic histories, a string of relationships with the world's most beautiful women, none ending in matrimony. The roots of Leo's perpetual bachelor status trace back to these formative years in Los Angeles and his first taste of fame. With fame rapidly approaching, Leo's romantic choices revealed a pattern nobody saw coming. Was his career success destined to sabotage his love life? Rise to stardom and romance patterns. Leonardo DiCaprio's path to stardom wasn't handed to him on a silver platter. For 18 long months, he knocked on doors throughout Hollywood, facing rejection after rejection in his search for an agent. During this struggle, one agent suggested he change his name to Lenny Williams to sound more American and marketable. Leo refused. With his father's encouragement, he stood firm, believing his unique name would eventually become an asset rather than a liability. This early display of stubbornness would later mirror his approach to relationships, doing things his way, regardless of social expectations. The breakthrough finally came through family connections. A DiCaprio family friend helped him get noticed by casting directors, and the dominoes began to fall. First came approximately 20 commercials: Matchbox cars, Kraft singles, Apple Jacks, and Bubble Yum. These weren't glamorous roles, but they paid the bills and built his confidence in front of the camera. Leo almost abandoned acting entirely during this period, briefly considering a career in breakdancing after winning second place in a competition in Germany. The entertainment world nearly lost its future star to the dance floor. Television provided his first stable platform. In 1989, he landed the role of Glenn in The New Lassie, followed by small parts in Santa Barbara and The Outsiders. The real turning point came with the television adaptation of Parenthood, where he played troubled teen Gary Buckman. Critics took notice of how thoroughly he studied River Phoenix's performance from the original film, showing early signs of the meticulous preparation that would become his trademark. His dedication paid off with 2 Youth in Film Award nominations. While building his career, Leo maintained a methodical approach to each opportunity. After a short stint on Growing Pains as homeless teen Luke Brower, a role specifically created to attract younger female viewers, he made his film debut in Critters 3, a movie he later jokingly called one of the worst films of all time. Rather than being discouraged by this questionable start, Leo remained patient, waiting for the right opportunity to showcase his true abilities. That moment arrived when Robert De Niro personally selected the young actor to play opposite him in This Boy's Life. Based on Tobias Wolff's memoir, the film required Leo to portray a troubled teen living with an abusive stepfather played by De Niro. Director Michael Caton Jones later revealed that Leo initially didn't understand how to behave on a professional film set, requiring strict guidance to channel his raw talent. The director's tough love approach worked. Leo absorbed every lesson, demonstrating the work ethic that would define his career. Leo's commitment to challenging roles continued with What's Eating Gilbert Grape, where he portrayed a character with developmental disabilities alongside Johnny Depp. His performance stunned critics and earned him his first Academy Award nomination at just 19 years old. People who worked with him during this period described his unusual ability to slip completely into character and then snap back to his normal self between takes. The 1-2 punch of Romeo plus Juliet in 1996 and Titanic in 1997 catapulted DiCaprio beyond mere Hollywood success into global superstardom. Titanic became the highest-grossing film ever at that time, and Leo's face appeared on teenage bedroom walls worldwide. Almost overnight, he went from promising young actor to the most desired bachelor on the planet. This sudden fame explosion coincided with his breakup with Kristen Zhang, leaving him single just as his celebrity reached unprecedented heights. During this period of skyrocketing fame, rumors briefly linked Leo to model Amber Valletta, after he allegedly saw her photo in a magazine and had his representatives arrange a meeting. While Valletta later denied any romantic involvement, the story revealed how Leo's new status gave him access to meet virtually anyone he found attractive. A similar situation occurred with Czech model Eva Herzegová, with whom he reportedly had a brief 2-month relationship after meeting at the premiere of The Man in the Iron Mask. As the millennium turned, DiCaprio entered his first truly significant relationship with Brazilian supermodel Gisele Bündchen. Their partnership lasted 6 years, from 1999 to 2005, representing Leo's first attempt at something resembling commitment. Together, they shared environmental passions, even visiting the Amazon rainforest in 2004 to raise awareness about ecological issues. For years, they appeared the perfect power couple, the world's biggest actor dating one of its most successful models. But beneath the surface, fundamental differences were growing. Years later, in her 2018 memoir, Lessons: My Path to a Meaningful Life, Gisele revealed the relationship's complexities. While she embarked on a journey of self-improvement, quitting smoking, reducing alcohol consumption, and seeking deeper meaning, she felt Leo remained unchanged. The painful realization that they wanted different things eventually ended what many had thought might be DiCaprio's path to marriage. Following Gisele, who went on to marry NFL star Tom Brady, Leo entered another significant long-term relationship with Israeli model Bar Refaeli. Their on-and-off-again romance lasted 5 years, including public appearances at high-profile events like Lakers games. When they finally split in 2011, Refaeli offered insight into what she'd learned. "I worked on myself and I grew up. I didn't know what alone was like. Today, I know that a relationship can work only if you know you can be alone and you are not afraid." This pattern, lengthy relationships with internationally famous models that ultimately dissolved due to different life priorities, established the template for DiCaprio's romantic life. While his peers in Hollywood settled down, married, and started families, Leo continued a cycle that would follow him for decades. Dedication to his craft, relationships with beautiful women, and an ultimate unwillingness to make the final commitment of marriage. As serious relationships repeatedly collapsed, Leo turned to the modeling world's elite. Was his attraction to Victoria's Secret angels hiding a deeper fear of commitment? Famous Faces and Victoria's Secret. Leonardo DiCaprio's romantic history took an unexpected turn in 2011 when he began dating Gossip Girl star Blake Lively. Unlike his typical model companions, Lively was an established actress with her own growing fame. Their romance burned bright but brief, with paparazzi capturing their moments on a yacht in Cannes, followed by getaways to Italy, New York, and even Australia. Their relationship offered a rare glimpse into Leo's dating style: intense, globe-trotting, and distinctly private, despite the constant media attention. Joshua Safran, a producer on Gossip Girl, later revealed a charming detail about their relationship. Before Instagram became ubiquitous, Blake created her own form of documenting their adventures. She traveled with a doll that she photographed in various locations, sending these creative visual updates to Leo during their time apart. This artistic approach to long-distance communication showed a playful side to their relationship that differed from Leo's usual portrayals in tabloids. After Blake, Leo returned to familiar territory in 2012 with Victoria's Secret model Erin Heatherton. Their courtship followed what was becoming a recognizable script: bike rides through New York City, a DiCaprio relationship trademark, paparazzi photos from a distance, and few public statements. When they parted ways months later, the breakup appeared amicable. Years afterward, Heatherton spoke warmly of Leo. "He's a wonderful person, and he's a friend of mine. I wish him all the best." This pattern of non-dramatic separations suggested Leo maintained a respectful approach, even as relationships ended. Leo's connection to Victoria's Secret models continued in 2013, when rumors linked him to Miranda Kerr shortly after her split from actor Orlando Bloom. The speculation began after they were spotted at dinner with friends in Las Vegas. Sources quickly clarified it was merely a friendly gathering, and Kerr later married tech billionaire Evan Spiegel. That same year, Brazilian model Kat Torres created headlines by claiming she was secretly dating DiCaprio after meeting at Cannes. In an interview, she said, "Leo is amazing, but I worry about what he will think about me talking to you. We have a pact that nothing can ever be said about our relationship." The statement raised eyebrows, and reports soon emerged denying any relationship. According to E! News, Leo and Kat were never a couple. The incident revealed how DiCaprio's bachelor status attracted false claims and media manipulation. In 2014, Leo began dating German model Toni Garn. Their relationship lasted approximately 18 months, longer than many expected, before ending in December. Garn, who had walked Victoria's Secret runway shows, eventually married actor Alex Pettyfer in 2020. 3 years after their breakup, photos captured Leo and Toni walking together in New York following dinner, leading to reconciliation rumors. The meeting proved to be nothing more than two exes catching up, demonstrating Leo's ability to maintain cordial relationships with former partners. By 2015, DiCaprio was spotted with Kelly Rohrbach, an actress who would later star in the Baywatch movie reboot. Their public appearances included the typical Leo dating signatures, sitting together at the US Open tennis tournament and cycling through New York City. Like many relationships before, it faded quietly without drama or public statements. Perhaps the most surprising romance rumors came in 2016, when DiCaprio was linked to global superstar Rihanna. Paparazzi spotted them together at Coachella Music Festival, parties in Paris, and at Rihanna's birthday celebration in 2017. The speculation reached bizarre heights when a French tabloid published a completely false story claiming Leo had impregnated the singer. The fabrication crossed a line, prompting DiCaprio to take legal action, one of the rare occasions he publicly addressed his private life. He won the case, and no credible evidence ever confirmed whether he and Rihanna were anything beyond friends. July 2016 brought another Victoria's Secret connection when Leo began dating Danish model Nina Agdal. At 24, she fit the pattern of significantly younger partners that was becoming increasingly noticeable to media observers. By October, reports suggested the relationship was getting serious. However, like those before it, the romance ended without fanfare after less than a year. The most significant relationship of this era began in late 2017 when Leo started dating Camila Morone, an actress and model who was 20 years old when their relationship began. The 23-year age gap became immediate fodder for internet commentary and memes. Unlike previous partners who largely avoided addressing public speculation, Camila eventually spoke out about the criticism. In 2019, after reading harsh comments on her Instagram, she posted a video saying, "People are so mean and full of anger with people they know nothing about." She later told the Los Angeles Times, "There are so many relationships in Hollywood and in the history of the world where people have large age gaps. I just think anyone should be able to date who they want to date." With surprising self-awareness, she added, "I probably would be curious about it too." Their relationship lasted approximately 5 years, nearly breaking Leo's record for longest relationship. They attended the 2020 Oscars separately, but sat together inside the venue, marking a rare semi-public acknowledgement of their relationship at an industry event. By August 2022, reports emerged that they had separated, adding another chapter to Leo's continuing story of relationships that approach, but never reach marriage. Throughout each of these relationships, a pattern emerged. Initial excitement, global travel, privacy punctuated by occasional paparazzi photos, and eventually a quiet ending. From supermodel girlfriends to groundbreaking performances, Leonardo's life behind the headlines revealed his deepest passion, but was acting truly what drove his legendary career? Career evolution beyond romance. Leonardo DiCaprio's journey from teen heartthrob to respected Hollywood icon wasn't an overnight transformation. While the tabloids obsessed over his romantic entanglements, the actor was quietly building one of the most impressive careers in modern cinema. After the unprecedented success of Titanic in 1997, DiCaprio faced a pivotal crossroads. The film had catapulted him to global superstardom, with teenage girls plastering his face across bedroom walls worldwide. He could have easily continued playing romantic leads, cashing in on his heartthrob status. Instead, he made a decision that would define his career. He stepped back. This deliberate retreat from the spotlight wasn't a matter of stage fright. DiCaprio later revealed he wanted to reshape his trajectory, refusing to be typecast as the dreamy romantic lead. His return to Hollywood came with a new strategy, one focused on substance rather than celebrity. In 2002, DiCaprio made his comeback with two distinctly different roles. He portrayed the charming con artist Frank Abagnale Jr. in Steven Spielberg's Catch Me If You Can, demonstrating his versatility and natural charisma. That same year, he took on the gritty role of Amsterdam Valen in Gangs of New York, marking the beginning of what would become one of Hollywood's most fruitful director-actor partnerships. Martin Scorsese saw something in DiCaprio that would change both their careers. Their collaboration began with Gangs of New York, but it was just the start of a creative bond that would span decades and multiple acclaimed films. Together, they crafted characters of remarkable depth and complexity, pushing DiCaprio far beyond the confines of conventional leading man roles. The transformation continued with The Aviator in 2004, where DiCaprio disappeared into the role of Howard Hughes, capturing both the brilliant innovator and the man plagued by severe obsessive-compulsive disorder. His portrayal earned him an Academy Award nomination and further cemented his reputation as an actor willing to embrace challenging, multi-dimensional characters. DiCaprio's dedication to his craft became legendary among industry professionals. For Blood Diamond in 2006, he spent months perfecting a South African accent and immersing himself in the complex politics of conflict diamonds. That same year, he starred in Scorsese's The Departed as an undercover cop navigating dangerous psychological territory, a performance that showcased his ability to convey intense internal struggle with subtle brilliance. By 2008, DiCaprio's reputation had evolved dramatically. When he reunited with Titanic co-star Kate Winslet for Revolutionary Road, critics focused not on their off-screen chemistry, but on the raw emotional power they brought to their portrayal of a crumbling marriage. The film, directed by Sam Mendes, allowed DiCaprio to explore the dark underbelly of the American dream, revealing his growing interest in roles that challenged societal norms. The 2010s marked DiCaprio's artistic peak. Christopher Nolan's Inception in 2010 demonstrated his ability to anchor complex, high-concept narratives. He then delivered a chilling performance as plantation owner Calvin Candy in Quentin Tarantino's Django Unchained in 2012, playing against type as a villain of extraordinary cruelty and charm. His reunion with Scorsese for The Wolf of Wall Street in 2013 pushed boundaries in new ways. As corrupt stockbroker Jordan Belfort, DiCaprio displayed fearless physical comedy and an unfiltered portrayal of addiction and excess. The performance earned him another Oscar nomination and proved his willingness to embrace morally ambiguous characters. The industry's most prestigious award remained elusive, however, creating a narrative that followed DiCaprio through multiple acclaimed performances. His pursuit of challenging roles wasn't about trophy hunting, yet the "Leo needs an Oscar" storyline became a cultural phenomenon. When he finally won for The Revenant in 2016 after enduring brutal filming conditions and delivering a largely non-verbal performance of extraordinary physical commitment, it felt like the culmination of a decades-long artistic journey. Beyond acting, DiCaprio expanded his influence through his production company, Appian Way. The company backed numerous significant films, including several of his starring vehicles and the environmental documentary series Greensburg, reflecting his growing commitment to using his platform for activism. His environmental work gradually became as much a part of his identity as his acting. In 2016, when Time magazine named him one of the 100 most influential people globally, they recognized not just his artistic achievements, but his role as a leading voice for environmental causes. His appointment as a United Nations Messenger of Peace further solidified this dual legacy. In an industry obsessed with youth and novelty, DiCaprio's career demonstrated the power of strategic choices and uncompromising artistic integrity. F. From the wild-eyed Jack Dawson to the weather-beaten Hugh Glass, his transformation from teen idol to respected master of his craft stands as one of Hollywood's most remarkable evolutions. The truth behind the bachelor life. By the time Leonardo DiCaprio turned 50, people had already written their own stories about him, an eternal bachelor, always dating, never settling. But in 2023, a new chapter began, and it wasn't just about another glamorous fling. This time, all eyes were on Vittoria Ceretti. Vittoria, an Italian model with a powerful presence in the fashion world, had already walked for Gucci, Chanel, and Versace before she even turned 25. She grew up in Brescia and started modeling at just 14, climbing the ranks in an industry known for its pressure and pace. But in May 2023, she stepped into a different spotlight, one that comes with dating one of Hollywood's most private and talked about stars. They were first seen together at the Killers of the Flower Moon premiere at Cannes. By the time summer rolled around, the pair were photographed vacationing in Sardinia. Then came the steady wave of public sightings: Vegas concerts, Miami's Art Basel, Halloween parties, and Leo's birthday bash in LA. There were quiet dinners and blurry tabloid shots. But then something happened that didn't usually happen with DiCaprio's past relationships. She met his mom. Meeting the mother has long been a social signal: serious intentions, future plans, maybe even the possibility of a ring. And for someone like DiCaprio, who's been linked to dozens of women over the years but rarely includes them in his private family life, this moment stood out. It sparked a wave of speculation. Could Vittoria be the one? Could Leo finally be ready to settle down? Insiders were quick to weigh in. One told Page Six, Leo doesn't see himself ever getting married. That wasn't meant as a knock on Vittoria. In fact, he reportedly really likes her. He's happy and he's comfortable. But when it comes to the idea of marriage, insiders say it's just never been part of how he imagines his life. And yet, Vittoria may have other ideas. According to In Touch Weekly, she's not just along for the ride. Sources close to the couple say she's deeply invested in the relationship, spending time with his inner circle, trying to connect with him beyond the glitz. She's not just another model, the source shared. She's thoughtful, strategic, and genuinely interested in who he is outside of the spotlight. One insider even said she's on a mission to become Mrs. DiCaprio. But here's the tricky part. What happens when someone who seems ready to build a life meets someone who's spent decades avoiding that very idea? For years, Leo's dating life followed a clear pattern: young, beautiful, mostly private. The relationships lasted a year or two, some longer, like his 5-year relationship with Camila Morone. But none ever made it to an engagement. Publicly, he's never seemed interested in going that far. Privately, his priorities seem rooted elsewhere. Those who've worked with him say acting has always come first. It's not just his job, it's his passion. Friends and former colleagues often point to his formative experience with Robert De Niro as the moment that shaped him. At 19, DiCaprio starred alongside De Niro in This Boy's Life. It was a heavy role, emotionally intense and challenging, but the experience left a mark. From then on, Leo approached acting differently, not like a celebrity chasing fame, but like an artist chasing truth. That dedication explains a lot about his choices. While others chased the spotlight, Leo chose his roles carefully. He turned down superhero scripts and franchise offers. He waited for the right stories, the right directors. He worked with Scorsese, Tarantino, Nolan. He won an Oscar, not for charm or star power, but for surviving a bear attack in The Revenant, a brutal, wordless performance that felt more like endurance than acting. And while fans kept wondering about his love life, Leo stayed quiet. His interviews rarely touch on personal matters. He avoids social media. He doesn't overshare. But recently, he made a rare comment that surprised many. In a quiet moment, during an interview about legacy and purpose, DiCaprio opened up about something he'd never really discussed: fatherhood. "I am sure it will be," he said softly, referring to the idea of having kids. It was vague, not a promise, but it was the first time he'd publicly acknowledged it as a real possibility. That line alone sent tabloids spinning. Was he finally changing his mind? Was Vittoria the reason? The truth might be less dramatic than fans hope. According to sources close to him, not much has changed. He still sees acting as his main focus. He still prefers privacy. And even with someone like Vittoria by his side, he still doesn't feel the need to formalize things with a wedding. At 50, DiCaprio's life is filled with contradictions. He's always in the headlines, but never really reachable. He's had long relationships, but never a ring. He's generous in his climate activism and selective about his public appearances. He's dated some of the most recognizable women in the world, but never talked much about love. And yet, Vittoria Soretti remains a name that lingers. Not because of scandal or shock, but because this time, it all feels slightly different. Maybe it's her approach. Maybe it's his age. Maybe it's just timing. But whatever the case, one thing is certain. Leonardo DiCaprio's love life, no matter how quiet he tries to keep it, continues to fascinate the world. And as long as he stays silent, the questions will only grow louder. Is the eternal bachelor finally on the verge of rewriting his story, or is this just another chapter in the same book? Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Also, check out another interesting video by clicking on the video shown on your screen. See you on the other side.